Hey guys, all ready for BRODAKS. I want to explain what was going on today. We were out at the field. John was trying to get an engine run. I'll wait for some people to join in here. Of course, I don't know, maybe they're already headed for BRODAKS. Or maybe already there. We got one viewer. We'll wait for a couple more to come in. And we got two. When we hit three, I'll just go ahead and go. I'll start talking. Okay, we got three. What we were doing at the field today. I have kind of a problem with this airplane, as I only have one propeller of this size, and I don't have time to make another one. So I was experimenting with some of the props we made before. It will work, it just goes way too fast. So I'm bringing my line box so I can make a longer set of lines and a shorter set of lines. This propeller here needs a foot shorter set of lines instead of 64, 63. Because I don't want to turn this engine up anymore. It's very happy where it's at. Because remember what I told you on the trim video. You don't adjust the speed of the airplane with the needle valve. You adjust it with the pitch of the propeller. Now I do have some other propellers, some 14.5s rev ups, but I think it's going to be too fast for that. But I'll try them all out at BRODAKS, and it's going to be a continually trimming thing until Saturday, probably. You know, I'll be flying this and trimming throughout the week. Now, if you guys got any questions, you can ask me when you're there at BRODAKS. I'm going to be bringing a racing plane, some battery chargers, lithium. I was thinking about bringing some engines for sale. Let's see what I got here that I'm not going to use. I have a brand new G2135 Super Tagger. Brand new, never been run. I'll bring that. This is an OS muffler. It's a 32 there. I have an OS Max 32. I got a brand new one, but I'm going to keep that one because you never know, I may use it again. Because I had built that Sorcerer airplane with a 32F on a pipe, and that really worked well, really well. So maybe I ought to save that mount. Let's see if I can find that other OS 32 I have here. I have a 30, this is brand new. This is a brand new 32F. So I'll be selling a used one, but still in very good shape. And this is my brand new one in the box. So we'll keep that one. Let's see what else we got here. I know I got some stuff. I have FP40. I need to get off of. FP40. Used but in good shape. We'll sell that one. You know, I'm just not going to use all this stuff. Let's see, we got a this is another 32F. No, this is an FP. This is an FP 25. I'll be selling that because I'll never use that. Let's see, what else we want to sell and get rid of some of this stuff. This is a G2146, not for sale. Used, but I do have a new one. I have a George Aldrich G2146. Not here, it's in my Continental in St. Louis. I have here I'm glad I went through this because I didn't know what I was going to do here. This one is another G2146, brand new in the box. We'll save that for classic airplane. Is there anything you guys are looking for that might be at BRODAKS? We'll save that one. This one is a Super Tagger. I made Len a smoking deal on a 60 a couple of years ago. 150 bucks for brand new in the box 60. This is a used 46. I'd let this one go. $50. So we'll take, making up the pile of stuff. Whittle the stuff down. This one here, this is my best ring Super Tiger 60. Boy, it's grody. I need to clean it up. But that's not for sale. That motor is great. We can sell this thing. If we could sell this, no, this is a 60, brand new Super Tiger 60, not for sale, wrong box. This one here, this is a 60 that's been taken apart, waiting on the liner from, I can't remember the guy's name. So we'll save that one. Can't sell the 60s. So we went through that one and that one. What is this? This is a GP APC. This is a Thunder Tiger. Thunder Tiger 42. Brand new in the package. We'll bring that one. I don't need that. I got another one. But I don't think I want to sell this one. I know somebody who'd buy this in a heartbeat. This is an Arrow Tiger. Or is it the other way around? Thunder Tiger 36. That's a 36. One of them is an Arrow Tiger. This is a Thunder Tiger. Maybe it's the other one that's an Arrow Tiger. But we're packed up. All my stuff's packed up. I just got off the phone with the Philippines to give us 20 hours of bandwidth so far, and then I'll have to call them again when I go through that. So we'll sell this one, Thunder Tiger. What is this one? This has got to be it. The Arrow Tiger. This is 42. Oh, this is a GP. This is not an Arrow Tiger or a Thunder Tiger. So we'll sell that one. We'll sell that one. Gotta find my Arrow Tiger though. Gotta be here somewhere. This here is that's the Super Tiger I just had down. This is an LA 46. I know somebody will buy that. It's got a Randy Smith Venturi and spray bar in it, looks like. Yeah, it's a PA spray bar. Plus it has a tongue muffler. Pretty nice one. So, we're looking at a few $100 here. I wonder what's in this thing here. Gotta find my Arrow Tiger. Gotta be in this box. There we go. Here's my Arrow Tiger. Here's another Super Tiger. Here's an HP 40. And then a black one, HP black one. Any of you guys are interested in that stuff? I think we'll keep this motor. Well, that's a keeper. All right, let's see. Yeah. Building planes. Oh, this ain't all of them. I got lots more in St. Louis. There's a monster motor. got all kind of crap. But I'll set this out on the table at BRODAKS, and we'll sell some of this stuff. Hopefully. Maybe I can make a deal with somebody. One year at BRODAKS, I bought a guy's complete collection of Super Tiger 60s. I think there was 10 of them. I said, yep, I'll take them all. And then one year, I can't remember the gentleman's name, he was with Bob Reeves out of Tulsa. He gave me 4 Super Tiger 60s. Gotta love this hobby. But those little motors there, aside from the Thunder Tiger 36 and the Super Tiger 46s, are just something that I don't use. So somebody else might as well get some enjoyment out of them. I will never build a plane for any of these engines here, none of them. So I'll be bringing those. If you want one of those motors I've just described, you can tell me now and I'll kind of reserve it for you or whatever. I mean, they're going to be cheap, but nothing's cheap anymore, if you know what I mean. It's a sad situation. But I figured I'd give you a small rundown of what's going on and what we're going to do. So I'm good for 20 hours at BRODAKS to start. I don't know what... And, you know, I wanted to run these Mevos, but I can't. Too much bandwidth. So we will be via the phone again, just like today at the field. But I'll be walking around and interviewing people and so on and so forth. And then I talked to Will today, and he's already there. I guess we have a spot in the garage where they're going to have seminars or whatever. I am going to bring my movie camera, so there'll be a CD available for those who care to get one if I can figure out how to burn it or whatever. But we'll do a movie as well. Bringing my generator, all my charging stuff. I'm going to bring this stand. I guess I'm going to bring this airplane. You know, I'm really torn because this airplane doesn't fly as good as that one. But this is the one I want to fly at the Nats, so I need to keep trimming on it. I'm going to have to add another ½ ounce of tail weight on it, or at least a quarter, to see if I can get it to turn a little better. Keep trying to get it to turn. See, for me, and the most killer move is overhead, coming out of the wing over, down to the 5 foot mark. With these heavier, nose heavy airplanes, I don't know if that's going to make the turn. So I'm going to have to add tail weight and get used to getting it to turn at that 5 foot mark. I said that I would talk about trimming. Let's talk about what all goes into trimming. Now, I gave a pretty basic rendition of what I do to get an airplane to fly. But that's not all there is to it. As Jim Lynch had mentioned, I gave a wealth of information without giving it. I didn't tell you what I was doing. I said, well, I'm going to add tip weight here and move the lead outs forward until the wheels line up, so on and so forth. These are all things that I've learned from years of tinkering with this stuff. Once you get an airplane that you've just built and you take off tail heavy and it porpoises around the circle, you'll learn this stuff real quick. A whole flight of going like this, hoping you don't hit the ground because it's so tail heavy, it's scary. So Keith was saying the other night on the Hangout, 20%. I think that's way too nose heavy, but 25% has been pretty spot on for me. So I would recommend 25% of cord to get it to, you know, that's the balance point. And normally it's at the high point of the wing. Because the farther forward the center of gravity is, the more directional stability you'll have in the wind or whatever. That's what's wrong with this airplane. It's too directional because it has this 13-ounce piece of iron in the nose with 1.5 ounces slung underneath it in the nose, and then 8 ounces of fuel in the nose. And you know, I put the other prop on it, and that was 1 ounce, and you can really feel that. So when I did the trimming video, nice to know. When I did the trimming video the other night, I wrapped a 1/2 ounce of tail weight on this, and you know, without testing it, and took it out to the field, and it was better because I can spot these things because I've done it for so long. Today I was watching John, and his airplane is hopping. When it comes down, it's hopping out of the turn. Now, I got to give credit where credit's due. Randy Smith is the one who told me how to alleviate that hop, and how you alleviate that hop is by extending the overhang on your handle. And how it was explained to me is the closer the overhang is to the center of your hand, the more power steering feeling you'll have. And as you extend it out, or the overhang out, it deadens that. The best aerobatic Super Tiger 46 in combat, Fox 36 Special. Nice engines. Thank you, Boris. These are not all the engines I have. I got probably 40 or 50 engines back in St. Louis. I got oddball stuff too. But these are some things I could sell to help offset this trip. So I'll be doing that. Let me make sure I didn't throw that 32 in there. That's a 60. These are two 60. One's a 46. Yeah, this is a 46. This is a 60. These are all taken apart, ready for Brian Gardner liners. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, there's my new 32. And like I say, so then I'll have two. I'll have one in the Tucker Special, and then one in an airplane that I'm going to design probably this winter. What do we got here? Oh, these are pilots and 049s. 049s aren't for sale. They're for little projects I'm doing as giveaways. I know you guys thought that I was going to have it done by BRODAKS, but you know, I can only do so much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's $1,000 worth of motors there, at least. Maybe more, because some of them motors are brand new. I got to get, for the G2135, I should be able to get a couple of $100 out of that. I can put it on eBay and get up to $300. we'll work it out. We'll figure it out. So this has kind of been an infomercial of what I'm bringing to BRODAKS. Trimming. Let's go back to trimming again. Where I'm sitting with this airplane now is, gotta turn this. Is that I've got the RPM down. We let it go at, I think it was 8,300 RPM with this prop, and you can tell that it's at the right speed when it's cackling between a 2-stroke and a 4-stroke on the ground. Now, if you're running a VF46, you want to hear supersonic prop tips because they scream. They run 13, 14,000, and they'll back off in 4-stroke at 13,000 RPM. They get off the ground, they unload, and 4-cycle. But this PA75 runs about anywhere between 78 and 8,800 with the two-blade pitch propeller that I have. So let it go at, I think maybe it was 83 today. Started at 78, it was 5.6 lap speed, brought it up to 83. It was 5.45, but I don't want to go any faster with the motor because then it will start winding up and unloading. You know, it almost did that today anyway. So you need to slow it down another way. I don't have another propeller with that I can afford to modify. And it's hard to put pitch into a wood propeller. It's easy to take pitch out of. So I guess the next prop I'll try is the 14.5 rev up. And we'll see how that goes. And like John and I were talking, there has to be some type of formula if you go from a 3-blade to a 2-blade, 15 to a 14 to a 13. How much RPM to vary to get the same lap times. No, I don't use master air screws blazing planes. The props that I use are from the 60s. These are rev ups and you gotta dig for them. They're kind of hard to find. I probably got 100 rev up propellers. Anytime I see one on eBay or anybody has one, I buy it. Doesn't matter what it costs, I buy it. I bought a 10.6 EW propeller in a package of props for 50 some odd dollars. I got a whole lot of other rev ups with it, but I really only wanted that 10.6 EW. I got some 11.6 EW propeller. They are super rare. Let's see here. I think I showed them. These are 11.6 plain, 11.7. Those are 13.6. You don't have 100 propellers, man. You ain't doing your job right. Oh, here we are, right up here. Okay, these are my oddball props that I don't use. I think I'll take this propeller. This is a what? That's a 14.6. I could deep pitch to 4.5. No, I won't take that because I got 14.5s out there. Okay, I'm going to show you the difference between when I hit the ground with my Junar the other day. This is what's left of a 13.6. Not good. We'll save that as a motor spacer. Where's the EWs here? I want to show you the difference between the hard to find props. These are 11.6, 11.7, 11.4. Look, EW. This is a good prop here. This is a 13.6, 11.4, 14.6. Come on, I know I had them here. Here we go. Here's the EW propellers. I'll get a regular and an EW. Okay. This is an 11.6 rev up. Says right there 11.6. And they work all right. This is an 11.6 EW. See the difference? Look at how wide that is right there, as opposed to the other one. much wider. It's a 1/4 inch wider at the. I mean, that's how much wider it is. These props work super good, but they're hard to find. And if you're going to run classic, this prop works really good on a Super Tiger 46. I like running the, you know, I guess they're called loop scavenged or whatever motors. I like running the 424 brake on those old motors because that's just what I was used to. You listen to my Super Tigers run, you think you're back in the 70s. Brah! Except the Brian Gardner motor with the ABC liner turns a little higher RPM than my ringed engines. I like the ringed engine sounds. It sounds very torquey, but I think the timing is just a little bit different on Brian Gardner's motors. But he's done a super job. I mean, I would recommend those liners to anybody. They are good. What that wide paddle prop does is it loads the engine. That's why this prop works so well, because I cut the tips off of a 16-inch prop. It's 15 and I think it's 15 or maybe it's 14 and 7/8. But it's got more blade at the tip, so it drives. It's got a lot of pull. That's why I was saying in trimming, I gave the basics in trim the other night, but there's so much to it, you know, with the handle spacing, handle overhang, and the propellers. I mean, propellers is a science all by itself. Tom Warden, the guy that I learned about props from, he would whittle on, just like Billy. They whittle on props and change things, this, that, and the other. They get up and, oh, it gets loose here, does something wonky there. Well, they do something to the prop. Well, I'm not that good, so I just have to go by what I know. I can't. If it were to get up top and get loose, I couldn't tell you what to change on the propeller to make it get tight. But some guys can. Billy, Tom, I'm not sure if Brett can. You know, I don't know. So I just go with what works, with what, you know, keep it simple. That's why I like the Super Tiger 60s. Very consistent. I've been running them since the late 60s, 69, 70. Ever when the Shark 45 came out, we transitioned to Super Tiger 46s. Always run them the exact same way. I know what prop that works on it. I know what fuel works in it. I know what line length you need for the weight of airplane, so on and so forth, they work perfect every time. This is a different animal. It's an ounce heavier than a 60. Takes 2 ounces more fuel, except this one here, for some reason, is pretty thrifty on fuel. I can fill my tank and draw 2 ounces out, so it's 6 ounces for 75. And if I were to talk to Randy, he probably would tell me to open up the Venturi. But there's another thing, you know, if you want drive and power, the more fuel you burn, the more power you make. But how much power do you need to pull a 60-ounce airplane? They designed this size airplane for a 40. A lot of guys were cheating back then. They were taking the 40 case and dumping 46 guts in it so they could cheat the line rules. But hell, now you don't need to do that. It's all about, you can pull it, you can fly it, you know, whatever. Let's see what Blazing Plains has to say. Oh yes, I balance all of them. Pitch them and balance them. Yeah, you got to do that. If you have a prop that has a smaller hole in the shaft, if you have a prop that has a smaller hole of than the shaft of the engine, you ream it. They sell a prop ream. You can drill them too. I mean, let's put it this way. If you make a mistake and you get that hole offset some way, when you put it on the balancer, one blade's going to drop. And if you balance it, it doesn't matter. If you drill the hole way out, I mean, this is exaggeration, obviously. But if you drilled it out all the way to the middle of one blade, if it balanced, so what? It balances. I mean, you're not going to do that, but I hope you get the drift. Because a speed plane runs a one-blade prop. And you go, no, it doesn't. Yes, it does. One blade is more efficient than two blade. Two blade is more efficient than three blades. There's less gyroscopic precession with the lighter prop, smaller diameters too. That's why David Fitzgerald has detuned his 75s and runs a 11-inch propeller, because they're worried about gyroscopic precession. I don't see the need for it if you build a light airplane, but I'm not a world champion, so he can do it any way he wants. He's doing it, you know. It basically boils down to fly, fly, fly. The perfect pattern is at the bottom of the gallon canister. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this work by the time of the gnats, but I'm going to try. Because my pattern today was no good. I only have about 5 or 6 full patterns for the year. But maybe I can pull it out. I don't start flying well till the end of the year, and by the time that's up, it's snowing again. So we got to put them away and start building. Now, let's talk a little bit more about propellers. I've been buying these Zor propellers. I'm going to start trying to run Zor. It's a beautiful, the craftsmanship is beautiful. They're beechwood, and the magic of a propeller is in the wood. Carbon fiber is great. You know, everybody's got to have carbon fiber. It's BS. It's heavy. It doesn't flex. See, this prop flexes, and the magic is in that flex. Whoever designed this rev-up prop really had to act together. And the reason I know that the rev-up propeller is better than a carbon prop is we had a 13.6 rev-up, duplicated it in carbon fiber, exact same propeller taken off the mold, put in carbon fiber, the magic was gone. So there's something to be said about this beechwood. I called the girl at Culver Props. I'll call her again next week, maybe get back to her. I'm hoping to maybe replicate some wood propellers. Her dad bought Culver Props, and they've been in it since whenever. And you can see them online. Just look up Culver Props, and they make real airplane propellers. And they live in Missouri, Rolla, which is not too far from my place. But I'll drive out and see her and see if we can't replicate some of these rev-ups with some beechwood. Because if you ever been to BRODAKS and seen how they made propellers, they're making it on antique machines. At I can't remember the old guy's name, Bill Friend. He signed a BY&O prop for me. I do not know why John didn't take up the rev up metal instead of them stupid BY&Os. I guess people just aren't sold on this old stuff. You know, like I showed you, I got banner wheels here. I would run these things in a heartbeat if they weren't so damn heavy. These are so cool. With the hubcap on them, you can't see the... But this thing, they weigh 2 ounces. That's ridiculous. I might see if I can peel that tire off of there and turn the hub down and put a light foam tire on it. Because I would love to have these on my airplane. Or something similar. Alright, you got any questions on trim or paint or building or anything? The crap that I'm selling, whatever you want to ask, I'll answer the question. Make sure to hit that like button. I can't explain to you enough how that like button helps us. And leave a comment. After the video's over, leave a comment in the comment section. Not in the chat. That doesn't help. The comment section helps. Leave the super chats. The super chats help the metrics. I've got to get this channel pushed to the top so we can get some more people. We only have 3,600 subscribers, and I only have 42 members who have joined for $4, $4 crappy dollars a month, $4.95 or whatever. Come on, guys, help a brother out. It takes a lot for me to bring this content to you. I got to travel. I got to load this crap up. I got, so that helps. And I give Charles some gas money out of the deal. Plus I got the $300 a month for a stunt hanger. So anything helps. Super chats, memberships. And when I hit 50, maybe I'll do that. I'll do a Brodak movie because I'm bringing the camera. And the minute we hit 50, I'll make that. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, guys, here's the deal. I'm going to make a movie of BRODAKS. I'm going to live stream, but live streaming I only got, limited bandwidth. But with a movie camera, I can do a whole lot. So I'll shoot them both, a movie and live stream. And when we hit 50 members, I'll go ahead and release that to members only. Let's see what that says. I use a Casminato fully adjustable handle. They're in the car now. I'm not going to go get them. my car is packed up. It's in the image of the old 4-inch hot rock. The same theory, same line spacing, same handle configuration, except that instead of the line being on the outside so it can shock you, it's inside the handle. You have one screw inside there. You can also adjust overhang, so you can let the overhang come out. God darn it. Let the overhang come out, and you can adjust the line spacing. So if you got a sluggish airplane like this one is, I'm going to add some more tail weight, but I could also open up the handle spacing. But that really doesn't eliminate the problem. It really needs to be spot on and balanced. And I'll get it. It's just going to take a few hundred flights to get it squared away where this one flies like the Junar did. Because I even had to add tail weight to the Junar because I made that airplane 2 ounces lighter. So, 80% is behind the center of gravity. So I lost some tail weight. So I sunk weight in the tail. First took it out and put clay on it and got it to where it would turn like it was supposed to. Brought it back, took the clay off, weighed it up with a ½ ounce, sunk the ½ ounce of tail weight in it. So I suspect that it will surely fly as good as it used to. That's my best flying airplane. Because it has less concentrated weight in the nose. I probably need to build an airplane of modern size like this, as light as possible, with the Super Tiger 46 in it to get what I'm looking for. The only problem with doing what I'm trying to achieve is all these motors are antiques, just like all of us. But you can't get them. They're impossible to get. The Super Tiger 60 hasn't been made in a million years. The 46 hasn't been. But those are the motors that I like. Those are the motors that I grew up on. And that's what I know. This motor here runs like a Super Tiger 60, but it has that one problem. It's an ounce heavier. Plus the header, plus the pipe, plus extra fuel. I mean, it's plus. And it's all in the nose. Like I said, this airplane with the ½ ounce of tail weight on it, let's see if you can see it here. See, this is at 25%. Watch the nose drop. It's still dropping. So we'll move it to 22%, somewhere in there, right there. Still nose down. Now we're at about 20%, and that's where it starts to come around and become tail heavy. So it needs some more tail weight. I just hate adding weight to an airplane. It's just ridiculous. I wish I could get the weight off the nose. Let's see what this thing's up to as far as weight. Now I've added an ounce. Ooh. ½ ounce of tip weight, ½ ounce of tail weight, so it should be about 61 ounces now. I hate that. I hate it. But let's check it. Let's see if I'm right. It weighed, Continental was 60 1/4. It should weigh 61 1/4 now. Somewhere in there. Except I'm going to have to add another ½ ounce of tail weight, so it'll be 61 3/4. But that's still 10 ounces lighter than most airplanes out there. I don't know how them guys can fly them turds. But they do. Nope, still says 60.3. If you don't believe me, I'll show you. Oh, because I put the lighter prop on it. That's right. Let's see here. Let me get you in there to see if you can see it. You got to show you the goods. $60.5. 60.5. So that's not bad. And if you see this airplane in person, you will not believe it's finished with 1 quart of dope. That's all that's on it. Because we're not into the slather it on and sand it off business. I watched Wendy's video again, and he was putting that silver on and sanding it off and putting it on and sanding. And like, you know, he did build some beautiful airplanes. Don't get me wrong, but man, they're heavy. I just. What I'm telling you, I've learned from a guy named Ron O'Toole, who would say, and I didn't believe him at the time, he would tell me, clear dope. That's what you got to. I was using primer. I was using that DC 540 primer. Turned out airplanes are beautiful. But it doesn't matter how much you sand off. That paint or that primer sinks down into the wood and you can't sand it out. So if you put 3 coats of dope on it and then you start putting primer on it, all those thinners and chemicals are sinking into the wood. They go all the way to the other side. So the trick is to do it with the lightest material possible. What's the lightest material? Clear. And I learned, I guess I kind of taught myself the 1 quart theory, because I wanted to make it lighter and lighter and lighter, and just figured, well, I got to sand more. You know, half a quart of dope for the base and half a quart for the top coat. And that don't give you much room, but that's all that airplane has on it. And the finish on it is probably not as good as my Monado, but it is pretty spectacular for 1 quart of dope. I'll tell you that right now. John's Liberty. You'll see that at the Nats or whatever. Very nicely finished. 1 quart of dope. He learned real quick that Sparky's Diet is a 6-ounce finish. I didn't used to think that you could put a 6-ounce finish on an airplane this big, but the Junar has a 4-ounce or 4.5-ounce finish on it. But I probably should put some more paint on it. It all depends on how much you want to sand. And you guys know that I'm a sander of airplanes. That's another thing that Ron told me. You're going to have to learn how to be a sander of airplanes. And he's 100% right. Leave off the wood you don't need and leave off the paint you don't need. If you look at the old Windy videos, he has a former from the trailing edge back every inch. Well, what the heck is that for? I have one former in there, and it's right in the middle between here and there, so it's right in about right here. One former. And you ain't gonna squish that. I mean, this thing is like a bat. There's no way. The strength comes from the top coat, from the finish. How much pitch do you put in the engine? Whatever it needs. My Junars run 13.6. This is a 15 and I don't know what it is. It's a 15-inch prop with 4 inches of pitch. Or 4.5 inches of pitch. I wish this thing will probably pull a 5 pitch with good shape. So I ended up getting 4 of the 14.5 rev ups. I got them in the box. Well, I didn't try them today, but I should have. This prop here works pretty good. Well, you just keep playing until you get it. I've never tried to marry old technology with new technology, but it seems to be working. I'll get it. Had a small problem today that my cowl kept coming loose. So I had a carbon fiber rod in there, and there again, that magic word, carbon fiber, BS. It had worn the nose ring into an egg shape so that the cowl was loose. So what I do, drill a hole right next to it, put a wood dowel in it. And I'll guarantee you that wood dowel will outlast that carbon fiber. Carbon fiber ain't what it cracked up to be. Good for some things, but not good for everything. There's another thing. I have a whole roll of the 2/10 carbon veil because I started following Bob Hunt's finishing theories. Went to the carbon veil. Well, it takes twice as much dope to fill that veil. So what's that mean? It's going to be twice as heavy. So went back to the 50s style, Japanese tissue and clear dope. And since they screwed, I'm kind of glad they screwed the DC 540 formula up. That happened while I was here in Dayton. Was using DC 540 with good success, put it on, sand it all off, but you still can't get it all off. And they screwed the formula up where it didn't work, it didn't cover. It's absolute junk. Don't buy DC 540. They screwed it up. So we quit using it. So if you remember, I handed Danny, I don't know that I had got it on film or whatever, that 17-pound gallon of primer. I was going to try to make my own DC 540 with xylene and a bunch of, so we just started, didn't want to monkey around with all the chemicals and all the BS, so we just started using clear dope. More sanding and clear dope. And buddy, that's the way to go. Sanding and clear dope. This, a lot of guys, well, I'm using 2-part polyester car paint or whatever. Hey, if it works for you, great, but you ain't gonna be as light as dope. Ain't no way. Because it does not gas off. So when anybody tells you that they put a coat of clear on their airplane urethane and only added an ounce, I say, show me. Because whatever you spray on stays on. There is no evaporation. Well, I guess that's going to do it. I figured somehow we got an hour in babbling. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Something to do on a Saturday night besides sand, or maybe you're sanding and listening to me. If I can help you anyway, you just get a hold of me on the forum. You can send me an email. You can call me on the phone, whatever. If you're a PAPA member, you can get my phone number, or just ask anybody, because just about anybody, everybody knows me and knows how to get a hold of me. But I'm not giving out my phone number over the air. When Al Ray was alive, he used to wake me up at 2 o'clock in the morning religiously, at least once a month. Lost my password. Can you help me get on? God, Al, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I'll help you. He was a pretty good old guy. He had, I mean, some of these guys have ideas that I don't agree with, but that doesn't matter. You know, it's still modeling. It's just like the guys who get on Aviojet. Hey, he's having fun. Thank you, Gary. You know, I certainly wouldn't take a profile airplane and turn it into a full fuselage airplane that's been pegged and staked with the stringers and all that stuff. That is just ungodly heavy. You know, if you're going to do something like that, you start out with a purpose-built project with a keel, the ribs, the stringers, and a molded shell. And it'll be half the weight. And probably going to start doing some of that stuff where we're going to build some molded airplanes like Joe Daly. I saw his article in Model Airplane News, or whatever they call that AMA ad book, you know, where he did build a molded stunt ship. Pretty good. I've seen them done like that before. It's just a lot of work. But if you don't have light wood, you're not going to build light airplanes, period. Don't listen to these guys saying, well, you could use 8-pound wood, just use half the thickness. Baloney. It's still 8-pound wood, and it's still going to weigh a ton. The other night, a guy was saying, well, I got me some good 7-pound wood. Well, there isn't any good 7-pound wood. It's 7 pounds. You need to find 5-pound wood, 4-pound wood, 3-pound wood if you can find it. And with things getting the way they are, I think there's going to be a whole lot more time spent in the craftsmanship of these airplanes, because you can't afford to buy any more stuff. So you're going to have to work on what you got and make everything perfect. So that's certainly what I'm going to do on my next airplane, is to try to do everything more perfect, better finish, better joints, you know, always try to do better. And eventually, you know, anybody can do this. This is not, doesn't take a whole lot of brain power. It's not rocket science. It's just common sense, good hand-eye coordination, and determination to sit down and sand. Because that's what it takes, sanding. It sucks. I bet there's 1,000 hours of sanding in this airplane. I guarantee it. Because I probably got 100 hours in rubbing it right now. And it still ain't done. So I'm bringing my rubbing stuff to Brodak with me so I can rub underneath the tent. So I'll broadcast some of that too. But anyway, engines for sale. I'll be there at BRODAKS Engines. I got a speed plane with a Pico 15 on it. I have 2 battery chargers. I need to get rid of all this stuff. I got to get it out of here. All right, we'll see you at BRODAKS. And the next broadcast should be tomorrow sometime. I won't break into Charles's program unless there's something going on, like, you know, Bob Brookins is giving a paint seminar or something like that. And him and I don't agree on everything, but he is a good painter. He's a body man. Can't take it away from him. All right, thanks for watching. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya. BRODAKS, here we come.